this problem, the first thing we need to do is find a one constant. For doing this, we need to take in account this information that the problem gave us. So first, we will say that y is equal to a constant, that is what we're finding, times x. This is our base, the formula that we're going to use to find our constant. Then we can replace the values that we know, which in this case, remember y is equal to 12, so we have 12 here. The constant is what we find, so we don't know it, times x, which in this case we can see it's 8. Now that we have this, we need to isolate the k. So we have here the k just alone, and because of that, you can see that here the 8 is multiplying, so we'll pass to dividing. So 12 divided by 8. This will give us a result of 1.5, which will be 1.5. It's our constant. So just remember here this constant. Let's find the result of y when x is equal to 5. For doing that, we will say y is equal to 1.5, because remember our constant, times 5. Now again, let's replace the values we already know. In this case, we're finding y, so we don't know it, so y stays like that, 1.5 times x. And remember, that is because we're doing the point where they told us that find y when x is equal to 5. So that's why we have 5 here. Now let's operate this. So by multiplying these two values, the answer will be 7.5. And that will be y when x is 5. Now let's find x when y is equal to 20. For doing that, our formula will be x is equal to y divided by our constant. So taking into account that, let's replace the values we already know. In this problem, they said us that y is equal to 20. So we have x here, 20 divided by 1.5. When we do this operation, the result is x equal to 13.3 infinite. And that is x when y is 20. This problem basically is telling us that when 4 people, they take 3 hours. But they ask us how many times 6 people are going to take. So the first step we need to know is our constant. For doing that, we can take into account the values that we already know, which in this case are 4 people takes 3 hours. So our formula basically is telling us, and the problem is telling us, that h, which is the amount of hour, is inversely proportional to the constant divided by the amount of people. Let's stop here and let's realize that this is an inversely proportional, because we see when there are more people, there are less hours. If there will be a proportion, a normal proportion, it will be increasing the both of them, but in this case, one is increasing and the other one decreases. So that basically is our formula for the problem. To find the constant, it's h equal to the constant divided by b. Now let's replace with the values that we already know. The hours, there are 3. So 3 here, we're finding the constant, so we don't know it, and the amount of people that we know, 4. Now let's isolate the k, so it will be alone. By doing that, will be k is equal to 3 times 4. This because 4 here it's dividing, it will pass to the other side by multiplying. This will be a result of 12 equals k, and that is our constant. Now that we have our constant, we can use this formula here to know the amount of hours it will take for 6 people. That will be h equals to 12, which is our constant, divided by 6, which is the amount of people. Now, when we do this operation, it will be h equal to 2. That means that 6 people are going to take 6 hours. And that is the result for this problem.